Well, it's time again.
Welcome to the Unlock Your Mind podcast, where traditional beliefs are challenged, fears are confronted, and dreams are brought back to life. I'm your host, Derek J. Love.
Unlock Your Mind podcast. Welcome.
Well, hello, family. Welcome to another episode of the Unlock Your Mind podcast. So glad you tuned back in. Hope you had a great week, and I pray that this one is going to be even better. I hope so after you listen to this episode. This episode, I'm going to talk about you are what you eat. You've heard it before? You are what you eat. How to change your financial diet. So that's what I'm going to be talking about on this episode. And I have 5 points that I want to do, that I want to discuss in this episode in particular about changing your financial diet, because you really are what you eat. So I want to ask you a question. If you were coaching me and I say, hey, coach, I have a goal. I need to lose 50 pounds in the year. What would be some of the things you would ask me? I have a few things that I think you would ask. You would say, hey, well, okay, what are some of your consumption habits? How often do you exercise? Do you drink enough water? You know, you would want to know those, some fairly basic things you would want to know, right? I would imagine if you were a coach, a trainer, trying to get me in shape. So you would want to know, what am I consuming? Are there any health challenges that's contributing to my weight gain or my motivation to lose weight, right? Those are reasonable questions I think anybody would want to ask. So I want to ask you that. If I said, hey, well, I want to feel good about myself. I want to be healthy. I don't want to be sick. I don't want to be a diabetic or have any other illnesses. So I'm just trying to get ahead of this thing. And I say, well, listen, I'm committed. I want to lose weight, but I'm not willing to give up anything that I currently eat right now. I'm going to still drink soda and sugary beverages, juice. I'm not going to drink a lot of water. I don't really like water. I'm going to still eat out fast food 2-3 times a day, sugary foods and snacks and things like that. What would you tell me if I say, hey, I want to lose 50 pounds, but I'm not willing to do anything that would take to lose 50 pounds? How would you feel? Would you tell me that good luck, go find somebody that may be able to help you? What would you say? I really want to know. But most people would be like, yeah, bro, I don't think I'm going to be able to help you, because the very fact that you're stating that you're not willing to change tells me that I'm not going to be effective with you. So I'm not going to even waste my time trying to force you to change when that's not something that you want to do. You want the results, but you don't want to put in the work. And I'm not going to be able to help you with that. No coach can do that. And I'm saying, but no, I really want it. I want to pray. I'm going to pray and ask God to help me lose this weight. And you're going to say, that's great. I believe in prayer. I believe in all those things. But I believe that God will tell you that you got to change something before you get these results. You're not going to be able to, he's not going to override your will to consume all these bad products, this bad food that's unhealthy for you. And he's not going to miraculously make you lose weight against your will. You got to participate. And you're going to say, well, I'm going to say, well, you don't know the God that I serve. And so we're going to go back and forth in this foolishness. But at the end of the day, you're going to call me a fool, right? Of course. Because that would be just that, a fool. So if I don't change my consumption, how likely am I to achieve my goals? Not likely at all. You know why? Because that's what's important to losing weight. I have to change my consumption. I have to do something different than what I've been doing if I want different results, right? So what do I have to do? Well, glad you asked. Now I'm switching roles, and now I'm the coach, because that's how a lot of people are with their finances. They say, well, hey, I want to get out of debt. I want to, increase my credit score, and I want to have some money. I want to have a savings, and I want to be able to do these things. I want to be able to give, and I want to be able to support things. And I want to be able to, there's this laundry list of things they want to be able to do. I said, okay, well, cool. So let's talk about your consumption. What are you spending? Well, and then we go down the list and they say, okay, well, I'm spending this and that, and they got this long list of things that they spend money on. And, a lot of times they don't really know exactly where their money go. They just know it's gone. I say, okay, well, we're going to have to change some of that. And sometimes it's like, hey, yeah, I don't want to give up my pizza. And I like Starbucks, and I like, you know, ice cream, and I'm definitely not giving up my cookies. So, I don't know what you want me to do. And well, I don't know what you want me to do, because I can't help you. If you're not willing to change your consumption, that's a key thing. So the first thing of these 5 points that I want to give you is you have to change your appetites. And now I'm talking about food and health, but I'm at the same time I'm talking about your finances, because it's the same principles. You have to change your appetites. You got to change your mind about what it is that you want to achieve and what you're willing to do to achieve it. And did you know? Just check this out. Did you know that your appetite is 100% mental? Think about it. The food that you have an appetite for, and the desires that you have. I want some fried. I want some grilled. Or I want a steak. Or I want some seafood. Or I want some so-and-so. And I want some cheesecake. And I want a piece of pecan pie. Do you know all those things are mental? Do you know that your body in and of itself does not crave food like that? Your body just needs nutritious foods to be optimal in its functions. But your natural body doesn't have an appetite. Your appetite is all mental. So everything that you just gotta have, that's all mental. Yeah, just think about that for a little bit. But you have to change your appetites. Whether you're listening from a food and health and weights perspective, or you're listening from a financial perspective, it works both ways. You still got to change your appetite. Number 2, you have to stop consuming junk. Most of the foods that we consume are food-like. If you look at it, it says food-like. It's not real food. It's manufactured food. It's made in a factory or a warehouse somewhere. Cereal, chips, cookies. Most of the stuff we consume is not organic food. Like, it didn't grow from the earth. It was manufactured somewhere, and processed, and it went through several processes before it became what we call food. So you gotta stop consuming all this junk. And junk on the financial side means a lot of this unnecessary consumer debt. Yeah, that the shopping, the traveling and vacations when you don't have the cash to do it, and you're financing your vacations just so you can post a lot of pictures on your social media account. But you broke, and then you're paying for that vacation a year later, 2 years later, you're still paying for that trip to Cancun. Yeah, that's junk. Okay. So you're eating out with your girlfriends and buying drinks with the fellas and all these things that you're just kind of, I don't want to say wasting money, but kind of wasting money. It's not, those things are just junk. It's junk food for your money. There's not a necessity. So, you got to stop consuming junk. Number 3, you got to detox your system. Again, same thing with food or health and losing weight. You got to detox your system. You got a lot of junk in you that, and as long as you keep putting more junk in, you process a little bit of it out, but you got so much junk in you from years and years of bad deposits that, you need to go through a week of just pure detox just to get some of this waste out of your system. So you got to get rid of this stuff. And, financially, we're talking about debt. You got years and years of debt that you've allowed to accumulate, and it's toxic to your financial health. Get rid of this stuff. Stop paying all this money out for things that you probably don't even need anymore. You can drive a car without a payment. If you owe money for student loans or things like that, Get rid of that stuff. It's eating you away. It's eating away at your system, and it's not allowing your financial system to function at full capacity because it has a lot of waste in it. And so it's working overtime. You know, you're working overtime trying to function when you got a lot of excess waste in there that's just taking up space and making your system not function the way it's supposed to. Okay? And there's a lot of things that have no financial value that you have that's, again, making you have to work harder to detox. So, you know, you think about some of the miscellaneous things that we have that are not necessities. Necessities is food, water, shelter, transportation. The basics, those are necessities. So anything that falls outside of those categories are luxuries. Okay? So if they have no financial value in terms of helping you to build wealth, then you need to detox. You need to get that out of your system. Get that out of your budget. When you do your monthly budget, weekly budget, however often you do it, you need to sit down and say what's a necessity and what's a luxury. And I know if you're listening in America, I know we're spoiled. So, you know, it's hard for us to get rid of things, you know, because we feel so entitled to everything. We're like a bunch of spoiled brats. So, you know, but you have to get rid of some of the things that have no financial value. They're just a drain. It's a leak. And so you got to plug the leak, stop the leak so that you can start healing your body and giving your body time to recover so that you can now function optimally. Number 4, you have to now start feeding your body and your mind with nutrient-rich resources. Yeah, you got to start eating some vegetables and drinking some water and trying to eat, you know, as clean as possible, which means, you know, about 70% of your local grocery stores are going to be irrelevant. You're going to be shopping in the fruit and vegetable aisle, maybe in the meat department, just a little bit. And, you know, household items, that's it. And the rest of the store is irrelevant. You don't need to go down the bread aisle, the sugar aisle, the pastry aisle, the pasta aisle. You don't need to go down. There's nothing down there that you need. So none of that stuff is good for you. That's all processed stuff. So, yeah. And then for the financial side, of course, you want to start feeding your mind with, you know, resources that's going to add value to your mind, like books. I know a great one I can refer to you. It's called Unlock Your Mind, Unlock Your Money. Stop Admiring the Wealthy and Become One. I wrote it myself. It's a phenomenal book. It's available on Amazon, or you can get it on my website at www.derekjlove.com. But there's some other great books out there that you can read, you know, that's going to feed your brain. You know, I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and I have a ton of them, and I'm listening to something almost every day, feeding my brain. My brain needs to eat. If I put junk in it, it's going to produce junk. So I feed it nutrient-rich resources. I listen to a lot of books. But you can, you know, listen to some lectures, watch some YouTube videos. There's a lot of knowledge that you can gain from YouTube that's absolutely free. And don't get distracted by watching, you know, pets and things like that, and watching some clowns do something silly, because YouTube is also something that can distract you, and you waste a lot of time on stupid stuff. So don't get caught up with that. But there's a lot of knowledge and a lot of wealth of resources and information on YouTube. So look for it. Look for something specific to what you're trying to accomplish, of course. And then number 5, the last thing that I'll touch on right now for this podcast is you have to change your associations. Yeah, you have to change your associations, because whether you know it or not, you unconsciously pick up and start doing the things that you see your closest associates do. So you pick up their behaviors. So if you hang around people who they're always eating out and eating fast food, and, you know, well, you're going to feel like it's normal. So you're going to fit in, you'll eat with them. Generally, you know, now some people, there are some who won't, but generally that's kind of how that works. You fit into whatever your environment is. That's how kids do. That's how adults do. We all do it. So it's just is. But We want you, if you want to change this, then you have to change your associations. Because, if I notice certain people I hang with, I can eat whatever I want, and it ain't gonna be no big deal because they gonna eat whatever they want. But then there are some other friends that I eat with, and I feel bad. We go to a restaurant and they're like, yeah, I'll have the grilled salmon and a salad, please, and a glass of water with lemon. And here I am, the smothered chicken with yams and macaroni and cheese with a Coke. So guess what? I'm gonna change what I order. I'll have the baked chicken with a side of asparagus, please, and I'd also like some water. Why? Because I'm with different people. So when I'm with different people, I behave different. So if you want different results, you might have to change some of your associations. If your associations aren't motivating you even indirectly to reach your goals. So again, then let's look at this from the financial side. If you hang with people who are always spending and always shopping and always traveling and they look like they got it going on, but they really financing all. They pull out their little black card or their credit card and they're financing all this stuff. But on the outside, they look good, and you see them all glitched up on Twitter and Facebook and Snapchat, and they on the island taking pictures of their feet and their toes on the beach, and they look like they living in life. They broke. And so if you want to look like them and fit in, you're gonna be broke like them, but you're gonna look good. You'll fool us, but but you know that you're in terrible financial shape. I lived that life. I'm trying to tell you. I know. I'm not saying this, I don't know what I didn't read that. I lived that life, and I have worked my butt off to change that, and not really give a dang about what other people think about me anymore. You have to do that. You have to change your associations if you want to change your behavior and change your results financially. Poor people think poor thoughts. I'm gonna let that sink in for a minute. Poor people think poor thoughts. That's all they've been exposed to. So why would you expect them to think anything different? You have to change your exposure, and then and this isn't a classist statement. I'm not saying feel like you're better than nobody. I'm definitely not that guy. But I'm saying, you have to understand that if you want to achieve more, you have to be around people who are also trying to achieve more. Now you can go back and reach back and grab your brother, your sister, and pull them up once you get up. But if both of y'all down and those are the people that you associate with the most, you're gonna talk on that level. So you go up and then come back and pull the next person up. That's how we all grow. That's how we all get better. When we expand our information base and our resource base, and we learn new things and connect with new people, then we can go back and now grab our brother and say, hey, this is what I know. I'm trying to educate you, put you on so you can come up, and then you do the same for somebody else. That's how we all grow. But again, you got to change your associations. Poor people think poor thoughts. When they think asset, they thinking about a girl. Did you catch that? When they talk about assets, they thinking about a girl. Wealthy people talk about assets, they thinking about things that's going to pay them that they don't have to pay for. Things that's going to add value to their net worth. So those are the people I want to talk to. I want to hang around people who are referring to or talking about assets and acquiring businesses and property and things like that. Those are the kind of people I want to be around. So I can learn from them and share with them and grow with them. You understand? So these are some of the things that you have to do to change your financial diet, because you really are what you eat. Whatever you consume the most of, that's what you're going to be. So if you consume a lot of junk, your body's going to be full of junk. If you consume a lot of junk in your mind is going to be full of junk, and you're going to produce a lot of junk. So I'm going to go back over these 5 things quickly, and then I will let you go on with your day. So number 1, you have to change your appetites, which is a mindset. You have to change the way you think about your food, what's good, what tastes good, and you have to change the way you think about your finances. Again, the appetite is 100% mental. So number 2, stop consuming unnecessary junk. Number 3, detox your system. Number 4, feed your body and your mind with nutrition-rich resources like books, things like that. Number 5, change your associations. Watch who you hang with, because they will impact how your financial future looks. Trust me on this. I wouldn't lie to you. I don't have no motivation to lie to you. So I hope you enjoyed this podcast. If you are in need of more in-depth and, one-on-one coaching, I do offer that service for, a small fee, and I'm available to do that. So if that's something that you'd be interested in, I'd love to help. If not, keep listening. Tune back in. Subscribe to me on Spotify or iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts at. I'm going to constantly be putting out relevant information that's practical, that you can use, is going to help you to advance your life. That is my sole mission. And that is my goal, is to help you win. Because when you win, I win. And your generation after you wins. And we don't always have to start from the bottom trying to figure this thing out. All right? Until the next time, guys, make it a great one.
Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Unlock Your Mind podcast. I hope you found some value in listening today. I pray you would share this episode. Share the love. Become a part of the Unlock Your Mind family. We're all in this together, changing the way we think so that we can change our financial future. If this episode challenged you or inspired you or made you want to do something different, I want to hear about it. You can email me. It's Derrick@DerrickJLove.com. That's DERRICK @DerrickJLove.com. Or if you want to do something a little quicker, leave me a voicemail. You can reach me at 832-721-2251. And remember, if you can unlock your mind, you can unlock your money. So start now. Start living the life you love and loving the life you live. See you next week, guys.
Thank you for tuning in to the Unlock Your Mind podcast. Follow Derrick J. Love on all social media platforms at Derrick J. Love. Derrick J. Love is a financial coach, a public speaker, author, and real estate broker. To bring Derrick to speak at your function or corporate event, contact him at 832-721-2251. That's 832-721-2251. Also, follow Derrick on all social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or on the website, DerrickJLove.com.